Hey, good afternoon. It's Alice. Happy to be with you as always today. We're going to do some chair yoga like we do every Friday. So let's take some time to set up your space like we always do. So shut the door, turn off any notifications, and gift yourself this next 30 minutes to be here, to allow the mind to rest a bit, allow things to slow down a bit. So for today's practice, we're going to work with sort of a couple different concepts. One being to have a sort of a deep somatic experience, so really slow and mindful movement to begin to link with our breath and give ourselves a single pointed focus. And the sort of second part of our practice is we're going to be doing a lot of strengthening in the lower belly and the hip flexors, which is just generally good for all of us, something we don't get a ton of, and also good if we're sitting a little more than usual. So that's going to be sort of the lay of the land today. We're going to go ahead and get started just by settling in. So find a regal seat, regal and not rigid, tall and strong. Both feet are flat on the ground. So like usual, I've got blocks underneath my feet, and you are welcome to do the same if you've got blocks, or you can put a pillow or anything else there underneath your feet. And we are going to do a little bit of standing practice today. So just be sure you've got, if you're practicing with someone else next to you or other furniture in your living room, that you've got some room on either side. So let's take the gaze soft and down to the ground in front of you. Pick a single pointed focus. It might be a floorboard, a speck of dirt on the floor. No, without shooting lasers out of your eyes, just soften the gaze right around that drishti, that single point of focus. And with the eyes at rest, you can allow the sensation to be alive into the rest of your body. Without any agenda or any value judgment, just begin to notice what parts of the body feel warm, what parts feel cold or cool, what parts of the body feel tense, and what is relaxed. Is there any movement of air where you are, from a fan or an open window? And what sounds might you hear? Beyond the sound of my voice, can you hear your air conditioner clicking on, a bird outside, a truck driving by? Is there a smell that you can notice? Using all of these little bits of information as opportunities to pay attention again and again. So if you notice that when you get a bit of information, you start going off, veering off into a story about it, instead just acknowledge it. Say, oh, okay, my shoulders are tired. Fact. And then moving on. Keeping your gaze focused. I want you to pay attention to your breath without changing it too much. Is it naturally moving in and out through the nose, or are you breathing through the mouth today? Is this the first time you've paid attention to your breath today? Good. Shift the gaze up to face towards me. Like I said, we're going to start with some slow, mindful pranayama breath practice to arrive, and we'll pick it up a bit and then bring it down. So just all of this using the breath as a tool. So I want you to interlace your hands, let the palms face down, and then bring this shape to hover in front of your belly button. Relax the shoulders as best as you can. They are going to be doing some work here. On your next inhale, I want you to use the entire inhale to lift this shape, hovering in front of the torso until the thumbs come in line with your throat. And then on your next exhale, soften it all the way down to the navel. So keep moving like this, very slow. Inhale. And exhale. Move at the pace of your breath. And you can imagine that this movement of the hands, it's like an elevator. That's what I call it in my notes. It's an elevator breath. So imagine the breath moving in and up, down and out. Close down the eyes or soften the gaze to the ground again. Continue. See if you can smooth out the edges of your breath. Keep going like this. Three or four more. Last one. Good. Release your hands down into your lap. Let the breath return to neutral. If an exhale out the mouth would feel good, go ahead and take that. Good. Open the eyes again. Okay. So we're going to do a modified version of the ego eradicator kriya. It's another breath practice. It's usually really fast and dynamic, but we're going to take a slightly slower version so there's a little less stress. So this practice involves rapid exhale. So you're pumping the navel to exhale and you're breathing in and out through the nose. So it looks like this. So you can see my belly pumps back to force the breath out the nose. The inhale happens on its own. So typically when we're practicing this type of breath, it's called breath of fire or Kapalabhati, we're doing it 2 to 3 breaths per second. My suggestion for today is to find a pace that works for you. Lately, I've been doing about 1 to 1.5 breaths per second. Don't overthink it. What we want is to find a pace that is dynamic and warming in the body without being sort of overwhelming. The next part of this is just with the hands, and it's simple. You're going to fold your 4 fingers in, thumbs pointing towards one another, and then straight arms, and rest this on your legs. So straight arms, but without rounding forward. And then we're going to begin. So this time it can be eyes closed or eyes looking sort of up. The traditional gaze is right here towards the middle of your forehead. You can have eyes closed and looking up or keep them open. So we're going to begin. You can watch me to start if you'd like, or just go ahead on your own. So remember, rapid-ish exhales starting with the belly. All of your attention on the exhale. Inhales will happen on their own. So close down the eyes or fix the gaze and then begin. Keep going. Halfway there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hold the breath. Keep holding the breath. Lift the chest up. A little sip of breath more. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Unfurl the fingers, grip your knees. Feel the warmth of your hands on your legs. Good. All right, so we're maybe feeling a little bit warm from that practice, and then we're going to move into some very slow cat and cow. So just like that elevator breath, we're going to move very slowly. So it's an inhale to draw the chest forward, stick the tailbone back, lift the chin. And then use your entire exhale, curl the tailbone down, round the back a vertebra at a time, chin into throat. Keep going like this. Close the eyes or soften them down to the ground. Really slow. Smooth out the edges between inhales and exhales. Smooth out the edges between cat and cow. And I want you to imagine that you could articulate each one of your vertebrae all the way from the base of your skull down to the tailbone independently. The truth is, we don't really have that degree of control of the spine, but I want you to imagine that you could move them one vertebra at a time. Deep, mindful attention to the sensation in the body. About 3 more. Can you slow it down? Can you exaggerate it even more? Last one. Good. Walk the hands up the thighs, come to neutral spine. Good. All right. A little more movement with breath. Let's breathe in, take the arms up. And then as you exhale, twist. And let the hands land where they may, hand on knee, maybe hand to the back of the chair. They're going to go back and forth. Inhale. And exhale. Keep going like this. Breath in and breath out. You can either have the eyes closed. You can keep them fixed on the ground in front of you if that would help with any dizziness. Or you can take the gaze and let it follow the thumbs as they lift up. And then twist. Keep going. Exaggerate the slow meticulousness of this movement without micromanaging it. Find that middle way. Breath in through center. Breath out to twist. Breath in through center. Breath out through twist. Good. One more each side. Up. Good. Next time, just pause on this next side. And I want you to be sure you've got this hand braced against the back of your chair. The front hand is on the knee. And then notice if there's a desire for the knee to track in. And I want you to see if you can keep the femurs parallel. Maintain a lift in the chest as you twist a little deeper. And let's try rolling the neck around a bit. Finding some sensation in the side of the neck. Maintaining a fluidity of the breath. Good. All right, bring the chin up to neutral, chin more or less in line with the sternum. And then your hand that's on your front knee, I want you to reach the fingers underneath the knee. So we've got the hamstring there. Keep a lift of the chest, lift the knee. Yeah, so you might lean back a little bit to do this. And then deepen the twist again. Yeah, so you might be feeling a little bit of work here in the belly to keep you upright. Really take ownership of the leg with the hand. So I'm gripping my leg pretty tight. Good, one more breath in. One more breath out. Good, keep the leg lifted. You can either stay here or maybe reach the hand down, grip the outer edge of the foot, lift the foot forward. Whew. Maybe. If not, you're going to stick with the knee. You see, I've got a pretty generous bend in the knee here. It's early, not too warmed up. Good. Release the foot down. Breathe in, lift your arms up. Breathe out the mouth, cactus the arms. Arms lift, breath in. Take your twist to the other side. And then pause, hand to the back of the chair, hand to the outer knee. Find the lift and the stretch of the chest. And I want you to feel the belly, just like in our breath of fire practice, it hugs in on the exhale. Go ahead and move the head and neck around. Loosen up through the jaw. Good. Chin in line with your sternum. Grip the underside of the knee, and then lift the knee. Reestablish the twist. So if you leaned back and started slouching, see if you can re-square. Lift the chest, twist. Feel this work happening in the deep core. Stay in the breath. Okay, option to stay here, or hand comes down to the foot. Lengthen the foot forward, reestablish the twist. Leg does not need to be straight. Good, stay with it, inhale. Release it as you exhale. Breath in, arms up. Breathe out the mouth, cactus the arms. Do that again, breath in. Find a lift of the heart as you exhale. Good, release the hands. All right, so we're gonna move to the standing part of our practice. So go ahead and come to stand. And then you're gonna face your chair, and actually it would be good if you're facing the side of your chair, so you've got this back that you can hold on to. So we're gonna start with, basically it's a high lunge using the chair. So let's all step our right foot onto the chair. I'm gonna move that cushion so I don't slip. So right foot onto the chair. And then you can decide if you want to try to lengthen the stance any amount. So it's awkward, but you might kind of hop that left foot back a bit. But for today, I would really like for you to have that left heel grounded. So not lifted, but grounded. So don't go back so far if you can't keep a grounded foot. Good. And then I want you to take your hands to your hips and square them to the front of the room. So notice if that back hip is wrapping back, square it forward. And if you're like me and your chair is wobbly, you can fix that. There you go. All right. Take your arms up, breathe in. Find an open arm twist towards your lifted leg, towards the right as you exhale. Stay here. Feel the belly working as you breathe. Now tip your back hand down. It might find the back hip or hamstring. Lift the left arm up. And then as you exhale, we're going to cartwheel down. So the left fingertips might touch the seat of the chair, right arm high. I'm going to go back and forth like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tip forward and down. Keep going. All the while, I want you to think about keeping the shoulders in the same plane, the arms in the same plane. So you could imagine that your shoulders and your arms are moving between two panes of glass. Good. One more time back. You've got it. And forward. Pause. Fingertips to the chair, hand to the hip. And then I want you to bring your forearm to your knee. So we're still in the twist, forearm to the knee. And then bend the elbow, or make a fist with your left hand. Right hand finds the top of the fist. Twist to the right. press the elbow into the knee, open the collarbones wide. Good. Keep the leg where it is. Come to face forward. That's it. All right. Here's where it gets interesting. Bring your hands to your hips. I want you to keep your hips level. Just lift the leg. Just pulse it up. Down. Okay, so we're going to do that a few more times. I know your left foot's getting tired. We're going to work on it. And I want you to try to lift just the leg without lifting the hip. Do this a few times. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Release the foot down. If you need to shake out the leg, go ahead. All right, we're going to take this to the other side. So step your other foot to the chair. Find your lunge stance. Good. And you can always use this back of the chair for a little more stability. You know, you can do the movements with one arm instead. All right, breath in, arms up. Open arm twist. Good. Now feel both feet rooted down. Tip up and back as you inhale. Tip forward and down as you exhale. Keep going like that. One more time, up and back. And then forward. Hand to your hip. Then bring your forearm to the knee. Now press the forearm elbow into the knee. So the twist is broad. Then you're going to bend the elbow, make a fist. Take the top hand on top of the fist, and then leverage the chest open. So there should be just a bit of pressure between the belly and the thigh. That's fine. If there's enough pressure that it's a little too hard to breathe, you're going to come up a bit, hand to knee, hand to hip. Good, stay with it. All right, unfurl the arms. Hands to hips. All right, so you know where we're going. We're going to float that leg. So I want you to feel the hips even up and down. Keep them where they are. Lift the foot. So that's isolating the action to the hip flexor. Even if you put your hand here on the belly, you'd feel it maybe working. Good. Do this 2 more times. Little bitty lifts. That's it. Release the foot down. All right, let's bring the hands to the back of the seat of the chair. Walk your feet back a bit. Some cat and cows here. Breath in and breath out. Good. All right, come to stand next to your chair. So you're facing in the same direction as your chair. Okay, so we're going to find tree pose with the foot on the chair. If when we do that, you find it's too high, we'll do a different option. But we'll start, I've got my right hip next to the chair. I can take my hand to the back of the chair, bring the foot up, toes point out to the right. So if this isn't going to work for you today, you could bring knee to the chair and kind of be here, and you could take a blanket there. And for me, doing it sort of a figure 4 so I can hook the toes works for me. Or you can always kickstand the toe on the ground and be here. So let's find our tree variation that's going to feel sustainable for a little while. So adjust the feet so they feel like they're in a good line. And there might be a little bit of sensation on the inner thigh because we're opening that knee behind us. Now, as we're opening the knee behind us, we're not twisting in the hips. Hips are still pointing forward. They might get a little uneven. It's okay. Okay. Find the interlace of the hands in front of the belly button, just like we did at the beginning. We're going to do that same breath. Eyes open or closed for a little balance challenge. Breath in. Bring that little elevator up to the throat. Breath out, lower it down. 4 more times. Last one. Good. Release your hands to your hip. Can you lift your foot? Ugh. Bring it forward and let it come down. All right, so doing a lot of work here. We'll go ahead and walk to the other side of your chair, and we'll take this shape on the other side. So get yourself set up in your tree pose variation. Foot or knee to the chair, or kickstanding the toes to the ground. Adjust so you feel reasonably stable. And then track that knee out while more or less squaring the hips forward. Okay, we're going to do 5 breaths with this little elevator of the hands. So close the eyes or soften the gaze. 5 breaths on your own, slow and steady. Final breath here. Good. Hands will find your hip. Okay, root down through that grounded leg. I want you to lift this foot. Pause with it lifted. Bring it forward. Let the foot come down. Good. Let's return to our seats. Beautiful work. All right. We're going to do one more little bit of mindful movement. We'll sit for a few seconds there at the end. Okay. Good. Reach your arms forward, palms face one another. And we're going to circle through the shoulders. So shoulder circle forward, up, and back. So let this movement happen through the shoulder blades. Good. Now, next time you circle forward, take the arms up. And then exhale, tip forward, wing the arms like a cape. When you next inhale, hands to your knees, reach the chest halfway up. Exhale, fold. Arms reach forward and up. And then forward. Circle. Same thing again. Up. Tip. Halfway. Fold. Arms forward and up. Bring them forward. One circle of the shoulders. Bring it up again. Close the eyes. 2 more times. Last time through. Arms up high, breathe in. Hold the breath. Breathe out the mouth, cactus the arms. Keep the eyes closed, hands to your knees. 5 slow, steady breaths as you are. Let's press the palms together in front of the heart. Lift the sternum into the thumb knuckles. I thank you for making time, setting aside some time for yourself today. May our practice gift us with opportunities for a little bit more clarity. And so rather than closing with a namaste, we will close with the phrase soha, which is may it be so. So may we find a little bit more clarity, a bit more ease through this practice. Soha. All right, y'all. Thank you very much for joining me today, as always on Fridays. I'm glad to spend some time with you. I am hosting some meditations variously on my Instagram, and I'll try to get this uploaded here on YouTube for you as well. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.